Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, I'm Ray. We are here on YouTube Live. And of course, Dick Dangle is back on the show. Dick, how's it been, man? We haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a little while, but doing well. Still recovering from Exxxotica, New Jersey, but none the worse for wear, as they say. How are you, my friend?
And of course, we have JR and Jazmine Cruz with us. They're our featured guests tonight. And speaking of Exxxotica, you guys were at Exxxotica. Unfortunately, we didn't bump into each other because it was like asses to elbows when we were there on Saturday. How was Exxxotica for you guys? Because I do want to give like a whole recap of Exxxotica, from our happenings and all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, we only went on Friday night.
Okay.
Friday night. We had a lot of shoots and stuff lined up, and so since we didn't decide to spend the extra money for like the 3-day passes, we're like, you know what? We'll set a certain time, we'll go, and then the rest of the time we'll focus on the work.
Okay.
But we definitely probably could have spent more time because it went by so fast on that day.
Oh yeah. So when we went there Friday, actually,
No, so Thursday we did go to the meet and greet, the mixer.
Yeah.
There's
still a spy there.
Yeah, we met a whole bunch of people there.
Other friends, Davis. And to me, they had like one person playing, one musician, and really loud music. So it's called a meet and greet. Although it was mostly loud music, so when we're trying to say hi or have a conversation,
hey, how are you?
Yes, that's going. What I do, like I talk louder, so that's probably.
And Jazmine, you're breaking up a little bit.
So talk, Mike.
Oh, we can't hear her.
Now you can't hear her?
Can't hear her
Dude,
at
I
all.
can't win for losing here.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. There you go.
Okay, let me repeat what I said. So I was saying that there was one person playing, one musician, and loud music, and so it was pretty hard to carry a conversation, especially if it's called a meet and greet.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one bar, and the music, I don't think it was catered to the crowd. I mean, if I go to a lot of parties,
yeah,
I'm Filipino, it's in our blood. You want to play some line dancing to get people to mingle. And I felt like he was playing his own music. Like the musician wanted to play what he liked and not what the crowd wanted. So a lot of us were requesting songs to play that was group oriented.
I can relate with that because there were times when I would go do wrestling shows and they would do commentary, but they would do commentary on a live mic to where the live crowd could hear it. And it was so weird. And they had the worst commentators you could ever hear. So I'm sitting there and I got my opponent in the headlock. I'm like, these fucking guys are terrible. And not to mention everything you're doing in the ring, they're calling. And so it fucked with you so bad because you're just used to hearing the crowd, but not the fucking commentators. So yeah, it's weird. I don't know why people do shit like that. But I mean, Dick, it looks like your Exxxotica experience was kind of wild. Of course, we caught up a little bit. We finally got to meet for the first time in person.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And I live in Pittsburgh, so I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to start the drive at 6 because I had to shoot at noon and did the shoot. Went and got a bite to eat, checked into my hotel, and then went right to Exxxotica. So that day I didn't get to bed till 1 o'clock. So it was pretty crazy. And every Friday there were about 3 or 4 hours that it was really crowded. Saturday was nuts all even Sunday. It was busy for an hour or two earlier in the day, but then it started to thin out. But to Jazmine's point, the music, even in the self, I get it. You want that party atmosphere and you want the energy to be high and you want to have a lot of fun. But if I have to scream talk to everybody for 2.5 days, luckily I'm seasoned. I've been doing this enough that it doesn't really bother me anymore, but it's very tiring to do it anyway. And it's just like 10 decibels, just turn it down a little bit. But yeah,
and it wasn't even crunk music. Like this guy was playing Semisonic and Eve 6. Like
okay,
dude,
now
like,
okay, that's not too bad. That's not no.
But I mean, like, that's not the crunk music anyways. Like, that's not getting the party going. Like, that's more of a chill thing. But, you know, take it down a notch. I mean, that's like saying, you know, I'm going to go to a rager and I'm going to blast Dashboard Confession. Like, that's not a... Get a party!
That's right. We went up on Saturday, so we went last year to DC, and this past weekend was our first New Jersey Exxxotica, and it was quadruple the size of DC. And so we left. I think we left. Of course, we're from Baltimore, so we left about, I think it was about 10:30 or so. So you know, we get together. I pick up Socrates. And then Matt meets me at the house. And on the way there, now I did say that, you know, I did have an announcement regarding the show. So on the way to Exxxotica, unfortunately, Matt had to inform me that he has to take an indefinite hiatus from the podcast. So that's a huge loss to the show. Matt's been here since day one. He's done over 120 episodes of the show. But, you know, there's a lot of things going on. And, you know, he told me, he's like, hey, you know, I might be around for some of the local features, but you know, unfortunately, I have to take a break from the show. So learned that news on the way to Exxxotica. So that was fun. And then also, we saw the weirdest accident I've ever seen in my existence. We're getting there, and we're heading into Jersey. We're about 15 minutes from the venue, and we hit all this traffic, and we're like, there's no way this is Exxxotica traffic. There's no way we're sitting for Exxxotica traffic. Like you know, I thought it would be, but I was like, this is like WrestleMania style traffic. Like, why has everything come to a standstill? So we make it up. There's an accident. So we get up to the accident and everybody's rubbernecking. And I'm like, well, it's a fucking accident. Whatever. A flatbed truck hit a car, whatever. Like, what's the big deal? So then we see what the big deal is. It's a flatbed truck that made a Mercedes half of a Mercedes. But underneath the flatbed truck and the Mercedes was a deer's head sticking out from the bottom of both vehicles.
Wow.
So we drove by and we're like, wait a minute. And I wish I could have taken a picture because no one expects driving by that. And I could see a deer getting hit or a deer like being under one car, but under both cars that are overlapped, we were just kind of like, how in the fuck did this deer end up wedged underneath this car? So yeah, so that was, and unfortunately, the first person we interviewed ended up getting that story at Exxxotica. Because I'm like the first person we talked to is getting this interview. And like, yeah, so that was off to a wild start. We got there, and I'm not sure about you guys, but it was I'm not sure how they set things up when they plan things out. But they set that up like a fucking Walmart superstore. Like I'm walking in circles the entire fucking day. And there were a lot of people I still never ran into. I went to Sarah J twice, recorded stuff with Sarah J twice. Alex Cole was right next to Sarah J. And I was looking for Alex Cole for 4 hours. We're fucking, and like, it was just complete insanity. So, from any of the conventions you guys went to, is that the normal for big conventions like that, or was it just they just kind of threw the stuff there like it was a DC map and was like, whatever, let's just do it this way?
I've been doing conventions for like 15 years now, and that includes all the adult conventions, and sometimes I go to like a movie convention or something like that. And it is very deliberate in how they set it up, because they do want you to make constant laps. So the best thing to do when you first get there, don't go in with equipment, go in by yourself and literally walk up and down each aisle as best you can to kind of get a layout. Because I can agree with you, if you go in and you have things to give people and you have people you need to see right away and you get distracted by other people along the way, you'll never find the people you're looking for.
Yeah. And what about you guys? And of course, we're live here on YouTube Live. Jason Rushman, our #1 fan, who we got to meet for the first time at Exxxotica. He said, "Jazmine, you look amazing. And what was your favorite part about Exxxotica?"
Oh, what was your favorite part, babe?
Favorite part actually would probably be. I'm pretty cheesy, but I was just meeting. I think what made us get a big following is just getting photos with people.
Yeah.
So what I do, because I was telling JR, like, nobody knew who it was. I knew probably 1 or 2 people just by like Instagram. And then we're coming in there like, they notice us. I was like, hey, we're not just peons. We're moving up.
Yeah, slow and steady.
But that's how I did it. My idea was to take photos, and he was taking lots of photos. I have a vision. If I take photos with these people that are, stars or talents or, well known, maybe they're going to following. And we're pretty much like a couple, and we're very like down there. And maybe they're gonna take on to us. So his song and his chef outfit just blew up. Apron. But not the apron didn't blow up. I meant like his, it's Mr. Sexy Buns. He didn't.
You would have got a lot of followers.
Can you sit to the side? Like I love. She has the best energy. She really does. The only part is that, like, I'm not a small fellow, and so when she starts getting into her story, she's like, and then we went to the store and it was happy and people smiled and waved to us.
But anyway, so a lot of people slap their stickers, and they're like, hey, you guys have an Instagram, a TikTok, you have like Twitter, and I'm like,
how can you write back to her?
And I said, no, we don't have any. I said, but tomorrow, set it up.
But this was a year ago. We're talking about current.
But now when I'm saying,
true.
We got
true.
more track. Well, like, and said to us, hey, like, your work here. So it made a difference, because at one point I was like,
and we keep losing Jazmine a little bit. She keeps fading a little in and a little out.
Okay.
Bring that microphone right up to her.
Yeah, just hold it.
I'll just hold it. But yeah, all I was saying.
There you go. That's a lot better.
So what I was saying is, I developed his Instagram, his TikTok, and his Twitter. But before that, so I felt like for the last few years, he was running my social. So I said, hey, why don't I return the favor? And so it's like, supporting each other's, work. And I feel like it's, I don't know if I could do this alone, but I think having an extra person.
So the short answer of that was yes. Meeting all of the other people was her favorite part of Exxxotica.
Yes,
You know what? I'm upset at your #1 fan. He said nothing about us looking amazing. And
yes.
That really bothers me.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we've known him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Jason tunes in each and every week. Shout out to Jason. He's here tonight.
What's up, Jason?
So Jason, we met him. He hung out with us the entire night, and that blew me away is the fact that you had a fan that like hangs out with you the entire night. So Jason, unfortunately, got something that we haven't done in about 13 years. When we had the TV show Happy Hour TV, we used to do what we used to call happy hour initiations.
Oh, boy.
Basically, it makes you a part of the crew, because what we would do is, of course, we were like this with Larry Flint's Hustler Club in Baltimore. We could walk in there anytime we wanted, record any kind of content, whatever. We interview Jesse James there, Nikki Benz, whoever. So we would get all these people who would come out of the woodwork, who were friends of friends of friends of friends and friends who I've never fucking met. And we're like, hey, can you take us to Hustler Club with you so we can hang out with the strippers? And I'm just kind of like, what gives you the right that you can just come and hang out when I'm doing work? And I'm like, all right. So we took so many people to the strip club and had strippers kick them in the balls as initiations. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that to Jason. So
they kind of like that.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I've seen heeled shoes go into nut sacks, but it was amazing every single time it happened.
Go to FetishCon, you'll see a lot more.
People get paid for that,
Yeah. Oh, some of the guests
I don't mind.
They talk about crushing nuts. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
But so the initial idea for Jason was we were going to have him knighted. We were going to find one of the girls and have one of the girls knight him as the official Happy Hour podcast #1 fan. And then we ran into Janine Jericho and Justice Jordan at the convention. And so we had Jason go there and we were like, hey, we want to have him become the official fan. So pretty much they had him get on all fours and they were calling him their bitch. And they started beating the shit out of him with a whip. He was riding around on his back. And then at one point while Justice is beating him, Janine's like rubbing her ass on the top of his head. So I'm like, that's at least not that bad. He's being beaten, but he's getting, at least, she's rubbing her ass on the top of his head. But no, so he got his coronation. Jason is officially our #1 fan, of the Happy Hour podcast. So Jason, let me see if he's saying anything about it. So he said, so Jason said, well, what we were originally going to do is we were going to do a segment where we were going to have fans reveal their deepest, darkest secrets to the porn stars. However, we ended up meeting this mutant acrobat that did all this acrobatic shit. And I was like, fuck all of my plans. You, X-Man, come with me right now. And we went around and got all these amazing photos and videos of him doing all these acrobatic feats with all kinds of different stars, Lauren Phillips, just who's who of people. And actually the bright side of everything from Exxxotica, knowing the fact that I was kind of borderline boggled because Matt said he couldn't do the show, indefinitely from that point forward, was that all of that content over the last week has gotten us about 500,000 impressions total throughout all of our social medias. And it keeps counting. Like people keep going, so that's a big, little kick from Exxxotica. Exxxotica, of course, last year got us right here on Roku TV and Fire TV via PodNation TV. So if you're watching us there, thank you to everybody who tunes in there. So, Jazmine and JR. So you guys, have you guys had any porn related injuries so far? And if so, what have they been?
I'd say.
You did?
So I did a scene. Do you remember the one? It was with Ray got a class. It was at a porn store.
Oh yeah.
And it was in the dark.
An adult theater.
And it was super dark. And we did a scene, like sex scene. And I couldn't see that we were on the bed, but I slipped off of almost the edge of the box that I was on. And all of a sudden I slipped and my shin actually got bruised because I remember telling you I slipped and I think I almost fell. I was wondering because I'm a dancer at the strip club, so I'm like, cannot be from that. I didn't work that weekend.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, and then that's what it was. So for the first time, like, I'm pretty flexible and I'm pretty like energetic, but it was so dark and I have bad eyesight that it actually scraped my shin. So that was bad. Overall, it bothers me because I do modeling, I do shoots. So every time I do shoots, usually producers are like, what happened to your shins or what's happened to your legs? So I have to be extra careful.
Somebody's going to want to see pictures of these shins. Yes. Why are they bruised?
I paid for pristine ankles.
That's right.
And I don't want much Photoshop either for my photos. So when I look too cartoon-like, I always tell the photographer, look, you need to fix it. This is not the real. It does not look like me. Like, it's too perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I want the real me. I'm like, they see me bruised, but put a little bit.
See, me on the other hand, I'm all about like I don't ever want to do like the Botox and all that stuff myself. Like, whatever magic you can do with your photo studio, make me beautiful. Like, I need work, man. Like,
yeah, you're preaching to the choir.
Fortunately, I've got a hot wife, because that's kind of what opens the doors for me. Other than that,
same here.
It makes a huge difference.
But no, it's the whole thing that like with the whole shin like fetish thing, because everybody has a fetish for everything. I don't know why this thought randomly popped in my head. I wonder if somebody out there has a fetish for varicose veins. Like, have you ever seen varicose veins? Like someone just sits there, like because normally you see them mainly on older people. Like, someone just sits there and
I love spider veins.
Yeah. It's just like
sorry.
Like so with that, have you guys, what's the weirdest requests you guys have gotten?
Got anything good? So I know one of hers was she got a request for a session from this guy who referred to himself as Piggy.
As big?
And Piggy.
Oh,
Piggy. Like, oink oink. And so he
Piggy.
yes. So he wanted to do a session where she watched him waller in his filth, and then wanted her to add her filth into his waller of filth. And so, of course, me not being the resident expert on this thing, I kind of screenshot the email and sent it to some of our Dom friends. And I was like, is this what I think it is? And they were like, yes, absolutely. So,
no.
Yeah. So we're like, I don't know that you can pay her enough to
No, I'm not. I'm a germaphobe.
He's just sitting there. He's like, here's what I want. I want you to do a live with me, and I'm sitting there rolling around in my filth, and I want you to just touch your vagina, and I want you to just squeal like a pig while you're doing it, while I sit here and roll around in my dog shit.
I want you to take a dump on my face, and then coat it in pee, and then masturbate to me. Like, no,
don't wash your hands first.
Yeah. No,
and we're telling
the weirdest one that I've
Holy
gotten.
Sabbath. Come on.
Oh, is it Sunday?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dude, I don't even know what day it is
I don't
anymore.
go to church.
Like, Exxxotica fucked me over.
Right? Oh.
That's insane. So did he
Yeah.
send you a photo of his filth?
No.
Okay, because I want to know what was going on. Like, I wasn't sure if that was like Ron Jeremy level filth, because I've heard Ron Jeremy was like kind of like borderline hoarder and had a pretty dirty place. I've heard that from a couple of reliable sources who were at Ron Jeremy's house and said that he was a very dirty man. Unfortunately, shout out to Ron Jeremy, who's completely delusional, whacked out of his mind in prison right now, thinking that he's on a porn set and that it's all like gonna turn into a scene. So, but yeah.
Well, and who thought, like, who was his publicist or manager, like, that was like, yeah, no, you're good to be around people.
Yeah. We're
like,
don't mind
again, not taking away from the things that he did that were 100% wrong, but like, somebody signed him up for that and thought it would be a good idea.
Yeah. It's like, don't mind the fact that this man smells like 7-week-old cheese.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, like he has like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know how like sometimes you like feel really dirty. Like, I feel like he had like those little, like, you know how like when you
cheese,
like yeah, there's little like what is it, like fuzz bunnies or whatever, like in between his crotch, like just little fuzz bunny. Right there hanging out in his crotch. And you're like, man, he has a lot of, pubic hair. And it's like, no, it's not pubic hair. It is an army of fuzz bunnies. That's what's going on there.
So it's like belly button lint for your crotch.
Yeah. It's nutsack lint. That's what it is. It's just he sits
Oh,
there and he
bad.
takes his pants off, and it's dryer lint, just right there, and it's just a saber sticking through the dryer lint.
It's just like he's like a dog with pants on. He just rubs his crotch over fucking everything.
There you go.
I tell people this all the time. I forgot what the movie was called, but there was a horror movie made, and it had Ron Jeremy in it, and his dick detached itself from him, and it was running around killing people. Let me. All right. Now I need to know what it is because I brought this up a couple times. So Ron Jeremy dick
detachment
horror movie. Let me see because I need to know what this is. 'Cause I see the trailer for this years ago. And so, it's called One Eye Monster. It came out in 2008.
What else could it be called?
Yeah, One-Eyed Monster. And let's see. So stars Amber Benson, Jason Graham, Charles Napier, and Ron Jeremy. So let's see.
Nice.
Is there a there is a trailer.
There has to be.
I hope this is a safe for work trailer. I'm gonna try to play this right now.
Well, it was nice knowing everybody.
Right, hold on.
Right?
Let me pull this through here.
I'll have my censor button ready.
There you go. Perfect.
I'm gonna I'm gonna download this real quick if I can. Let's see. So I'm gonna try to do it in a way to where we can get it. One Eye Monster trailer. All right. So let's see. So YouTube will have a censored version. So let's see.
I have too many little toys on this.
I see that. I'm impressed.
Thank you. Thank you for remote.
Probably know Vistaprint for business cards, but did you know?
All right, so hit that. I'm just trying to get to this to where I want. I would just want to make sure that this trailer I'm about to download is the same movie. So I believe it may be.
Just when you thought it was safe to go to an adult theater, Ron Jeremy and his detachable penis, Robodick. Watch out for his one-eyed monster.
That's where he said, "Is anybody there? Hello, I can hear you."
All right, so I'm going to download this real quick. Hello, is there anything? Oh, yes, it is. Okay, it is the trailer. All right, so I'm downloading it now. All right, so let this download real quick.
We did it already.
Yeah,
all right,
totally.
So here we go. So we're gonna.
The sequel, of course, was Pee Wee Herman.
All right, so let's do this.
Rosie.
So here we go. Here is the trailer for One-Eyed Monster.
Okay.
Mayday, mayday. If anyone can hear me, there are 3 of us on top of Lookout Mountain. 1 of us is seriously injured and we're stuck in the snow. 6 others are dead. We're being stalked by
Oh, that's a powerful hit.
Porn legend Ron Jeremy has made thousands of films.
Yeah.
So, you folks are making a
He
picture,
actually
eh?
plays himself.
Yeah? Wait till I tell Mother. Your cock is 9 inches, is that right?
9 3/4.
Oh, we're $10.
But under a moonlit night on a remote mountain,
How long is it going to take to relight?
Ready.
Okay, and action.
he's about to make his last.
What the?
What the hell? And he'll leave behind
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's missing his dick.
Well, it didn't just get up and walk away.
Actually, it did. Look.
an enormous legacy.
There's a dick in Angel's mouth!
Yeah?
It's not attached to anyone!
Now, a small band of actors and crew must join forces to destroy this monster.
Just wants to replicate. And it clearly doesn't mind using force.
We gotta kill it. Laura, I'm gonna need the panties you have on.
The survival of the human race is at stake.
Just in case,
Like a bat
seal
trap.
us in from the outside.
Because seeding the planet is easy.
S-O-S.
You're telling me it knows Morse code?
It's got a name. Ron.
When you've got the right tool.
What is that?
It's Ron's dick. Minus Ron. Sweet mother.
Anybody see it?
I do.
One-eyed monster. If you see it coming, you're already dead.
Yes, I am so mad that I've never seen this before.
So I remember that movie because I saw that trailer. There used to be a time where me and one of my young lady friends way back when used to do a horror movie night every Wednesday, and we would watch weird horror movies. And that was a trailer that we had seen, and it always resonated with me. Anytime Ron Jeremy was ever brought up, I was like, that movie with his dick killing people. Like, I can imagine the kill effects in that are amazing. And like that was from YouTube, so I'm not really as worried about YouTube flagging us for that, because then I'll be like, look, cocksuckers, I found this on your fucking site, leave me alone. But yeah, just knowing the fact that the dick detached, and it's this whole mystery of where the dick is, this little dick just running around causing hell, like ripping people in half. Like that's a dick ripper right there.
Yeah. Okay, you could call him Dick Dastardly.
Starring Dick Dangle.
Yeah. Dick Dangle versus Dick Dastardly.
They should make a sequel, and Dick Dangle should be like the arch nemesis of Ron's dick. Like that's the thing.
Have like a sword fight, dong versus dong.
Well, am I the arch nemesis, or do I control the dick?
Oh,
catch ending, everybody. Go watch it.
Mind blown.
That's right.
Like, I just love the fact that the girl walks in, she's like, there's a dick in Samantha's mouth, and everybody's just looking like, okay. It's not attached to anybody. And then the scene where I hope that thing fires like a rocket out of a pussy. Let's just fire a rocket out of a pussy in the head, because that would just make my entire life complete. I need to find that and watch it. Like maybe we can do some sort of like,
a viewing party.
Right.
Oh yeah, we should do that. We should do a viewing party, and we can invite a lot of fans to like watch it with us or something like that. That'd be amazing.
So I would imagine
we must do this.
Yeah, I would imagine, depending on the year that was made, it's probably on DVD.
Oh, I'm sure. Sure.
Or at least VHS.
Right. I have a lot of VHS tapes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, a lot of that stuff, I'm surprised, like, because records are starting to come back in.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm surprised that like VHSs aren't. Like someone's just like, oh, I want to watch this. We're gonna bring VHSs back. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I can make it through that hell, because DVDs are like kind of officially out the door, because Best Buy isn't even selling DVDs anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and Blu-ray isn't even a thing nowadays. Like, it's crazy. Everything is streaming services. And stuff
everything's
like that. God bless you.
Hang in there.
Our podcast right here on Roku and Fire TV. So everything is, so what we're going to do is, of course, last month we did a theme for Halloween, and it was Smash or Dash, the Halloween edition. It was a segment that we did a couple of times. It kind of went into the shadows, and then Halloween was the perfect time to bring it back. But this month, the month of November, we're basing it off of our How Did We Get Here segment, which is terrible turkey fryer accident. So that's our theme for the month of November. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch some videos, informative videos. One of them is an informative video that was made by a doctor's association on turkey fryer accidents. And then we're going to watch an actual video on some turkey fryer accidents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull that up, and we're going to get into what's going to happen if you fry a turkey and fuck it up. So let me just go ahead and get this pulled up here, and we will.
I lost my nuts to a turkey frying accident.
Oh my God.
If you just
liking
lost
that too
your
much.
nuts, they were way too close. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so let me see. Where did this? All right, so real quick, I need to actually find where the video went because I could have sworn I saved the video somewhere else. But it is not in the folder where I thought it would be for some strange reason. So, oh, okay, there it is right there. So why isn't it popping up on here? Because I'm an idiot. That is why.
I blame the detachable penis.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, here it is. So here's the important. This is what could
He
happen
fucked it up.
if you cook with a turkey fryer. This is what could happen if you cook with a turkey.
I'll take. You got the burns. Got it. All right. Airway.
So everybody's just right there.
Yeah, like so that's from MDTV, a disclaimer of what could happen if you drop a frozen turkey into a turkey fryer. So, and I don't know, like for Thanksgiving, when you guys do it up, of course, Jazmine, you said you're Filipino. Of course, my uncle, he married a Filipino woman. Her cooking is fucking phenomenal. I love it. Anytime we go up there and see him, how do you guys do Thanksgiving? Like, do you guys roast? Do you guys bake? Do you guys use a turkey fryer? Like, how do you guys go into preparing the bird?
So, well, I mean, for us, it all depends because all the different countries we lived in and stuff, it's not always easy to have like a turkey and stuff like that. But we've I've roasted, I've done the brine one year, or we'll go to somebody else's house, or we'll just say fuck it and eat something completely unrelated.
Okay.
Like Korean in Korea.
Nice.
I think one year we went to like a makchung and klopchung place and just had a bunch of pig intestines.
Oh, okay. And that's I like the difference in it too. Like, everybody does something different. Like Thanksgiving may be one thing for somebody, but it's something completely different for somebody else. Now, we saw the disclaimer from that Doctors Association. So now what we're going to do, we're going to watch 2 quick videos of real people using turkey fryers and what could potentially happen when you use said turkey fryers. So these ones are a little bit more in depth of what could actually happen. So we're going to go ahead and put these right here. So 12 seconds worth, 2 videos, and let's rock and roll.
First time frying a turkey. Stay inside, please. Stay inside.
Stay inside. Get inside right now.
All right.
All right. I thought that was going to be better.
Yeah.
That,
but the one guy, obviously, like that's from like a series of clips that I broke down. The one guy, obviously, the girl runs outside and they're like, we don't want Susie to be blasted in outer space.
Yeah.
So he knew what was up. So, that man yells at that poor girl to go back inside. And then the other guy, like literally, like just, I don't know what it is with people just dropping the shit into the grease. Like they have these little things where you can lower them down into the turkey pot. And actually, I'll show the one from last week too. The one that shows that a little bit better. So let me just go ahead and pull that one up from last week. So this one actually shows the man precisely loading it into.
All right, folks, here it is. I don't know if you can see this.
After he has to go over and put it on top of his
20
jet ski.
pounds of turkey.
well, yeah, he's got to tell you that he's got a jet ski.
5 pounds of bacon.
That's like instant flex on Hillbilly Hell.
Better watch the oven, bitch.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's way too big for that pot.
Way too big.
That's not gonna fit. Oh!
And poof! Magic, he's gone.
That's brilliant.
You didn't get burned, did you?
Yeah, real bad.
Did you? Don't put it in water.
So, dude, pretty much.
Don't put it out with your boots, Ted.
Yeah. I don't want to have to stomp you out again. I had to stomp you out last year. I don't know what you're screaming for, being burned or me stomping you down. Like, he basically did like a magic trick. Like, he dropped it in and woof, he was just gone. Like, he's like, hey, look, guys, just tell the neighborhood. Yeah. Oh no, Ted's out there using the fucking turkey fryer again.
It amazes me.
It almost reminded me of that old science trick that you do for like you light something in the jar and then you put the hard-boiled egg on top.
Yes.
And then it like sucks it in. Like I feel like that's what happened with that turkey.
And I don't know what kind of turkey he had, but it looked weird. It looked like it was like multiple, like it looked like he kind of leather faced that turkey. Like it looked like it was multiple turkeys sewn together into like one big
like a Terbriscafil or something.
Yeah, like it looked like it was a turkey shoved inside of a crab pot. Like you ever put like chicken out of a crab pot? Like that's what it pretty much looked like. And it's like, what the fuck?
In the Balkans, what we do is we take the same thing we do for shawarma, and then we shove shawarma inside of turkey, and then we put the turkey inside of the fryer.
I am stunned because every year at this time on every local news channel, they have the dangers of doing fried turkeys. And I think to myself, okay, by now, everybody has to know, but quite obviously not, because they have to keep doing this. It absolutely blows my mind up. Don't put a frozen turkey in. Don't put one in that's too big, and don't drop it in. It is a bomb.
Yeah. Like I feel like someone just wants to slam dunk the fucking turkey.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And the best part, they were smart. They would have dyed the grease, so when it exploded, it could have also been a gender reveal.
Yes.
Well, you're getting dangerous now. Some white woman is gonna hear this. Some white woman is gonna hear this, and the next thing we know, somebody's gonna be dead on Thanksgiving from doing a gender reveal by dropping a pink turkey.
I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah. Who told you? That guy, Dick Dangle.
There was this guy, Dick Dangle, and he said that it would be smart to make two things at once, like that Travis Kelce commercial.
He said, whatever you do.
I thought it was something Taylor would do.
Said whatever you do, don't put just the tip of the turkey in there. Just slam the turkey into the grease.
Balls deep. That's right.
Balls deep. Yes.
Just plunger that thing in there. Just plunger it deep down. So what we're going to do real quick is, guys, what we're going to do, we play ads. We're going to get some of our ads rolling. We're going to play some of our ads. We're going to take about a 4-minute break. So we're going to take a 4-minute break right here on YouTube Live in case anybody needs to hop up, use the bathroom, grab a drink, something like that. We're going to play some of our ads. And then when we get back, we're going to get into our game segment. So we play a series of games on the show as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. We're going to get the ads up. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in about 4 minutes right here on the Happy Hour Podcast.
Hey, this is Dremageddon, and you're watching the Happy Hour Podcast. Rock and roll.
Derek Sharp, the owner of Curtain Jerker Designs, who does an amazing job. I'm blown away every single time, and his speed that he has getting everything back to us is immaculate.
Hit up Derek with Curtain Jerker Designs.
Look no further than Curtain Jerker Designs. Make sure you hit up Derek.
Derek Sharp, man. Hey, just want to say thank you for the posters, all the hard work you put into, man. We really appreciate you, man.
A shout out to Derek Sharp from Curtain Jerker Designs. Yo, dude, just want to say, this poster, off the hook.
Hey, what's up, players? This is Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and I want to give a big shout out to my man Derek over there with Curtain Jerkers Designs.
If you are looking for the best graphics, the best designs, look up Curtain Jerker. I did.
Curtain Jerker Designs. That's who I use for any of my graphic designs, and you should too.
Thanks, Curtain Jerker Designs.
Big old shout out to Curtain Jerker Designs. You see that? You see that beauty? That's all you, Curtain Jerker.
Hello, wrestling promoters. The Big Valboski wants to give you a big tip. If you're looking for a graphic designer to do your next events, promotional posters, hit up Derek at Curtain Jerker Designs.
A lifelong wrestling fan, as we all are. I went through the part with the reffing, and I got to a part where I did ring announcing. I did everything there was to do. I had a match. But because I have that background, that's where I stepped in and said, hey, like, I do flyers. Let me help you guys out.
Welcome to Skeet's Superstar Arcade. This place was huge a few decades ago. They shut it down, but the owner wants to revamp the place. He's updated all the animatronics with the latest technology. Your job as the night guard is to take care of the animatronics we have in storage. They get a little quirky at night, restless. If that happens, don't be afraid. There's a protocol.
Hey, this is Gracie, and you're watching the Happy Hour podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, we're here live on YouTube Live. And for those of you that are watching us after the fact on Roku and Fire TV, thank you for tuning in each and every week. What I'm going to do before we get into our game segment is I'm going to real quickly get into our featured beer. So our featured beer debuted last week, which is by UFO Beer Company, which is their strawberry lemonade shandy. So make sure you go out, find that. I've been blowing through these. So yeah, 5.0 alcohol by volume. So you can get through a good handful of these without, falling off the wagon too much. And then what I'm also going to do is, of course, shout out to Dick Dangle, who gave me this nice Baltimore Orioles shot glass. Dick Dangle always brings gifts to everybody over at Exxxotica, and you did not have to do that. And also, I'll get into it in a little bit, but the other gift that you gave me blew my mind. What you gave me. I'm going to get into our featured shot, which is Bacardi Gold. So shout out to Bacardi Gold. Ooh. I wish I could say Bacardi that I enjoy this, but I feel like I got a tracheotomy last week when I drank this. So I'm going to pour this in here. This week I brought a chaser because one thing I learned about rum, and my wife's a big rum girl, rum and Coke, is that rum is not easy to drink by itself. Like, it is not
it's made
take
with
a
bits
shot
of Panther, so you know it's good.
So here we go. I'll do the tradition of pouring this over the laptop because that's just how we do it, and pray to God that it does not spill under there. So cheers, everybody, and here we go with the tracheotomy.
I don't know.
Are you currently in Maryland?
I am.
Now?
Yes, I am.
I'm actually born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland, Catonsville area. Yeah,
I tell her not to tell
I went to
people
University of Maryland.
Yeah. Look,
School of Nursing.
That's a Maryland beer cap.
I saw that. I like it. Very creative.
And you notice my walls are yellow. You can see a touch of a Maryland.
Yes, I
saw the pillows. Yeah. I was like, oh no, not a.
I'm
a
Ravens
guy.
fan. I was in 5th grade when the Ravens Stadium was established, so that was a big deal.
Nice.
And Camden Yards is where my senior prom was.
Real? Oh, I'm super jealous of that. My wife.
And we got a cruise. We had a cruise too.
My wife went out of her way to get the Oriole bird to show up at our wedding, and it almost didn't happen. She got a hold of the Orioles, and they're like, "Hey, we have a day game that game. We're not sure if it's going to be able to happen. Keep in touch." So she reached out 2 more times. The day before our wedding, they were like, "Hey, would you still like the bird to come?" And she was like, "Yeah." They're like, "We have a day game. It'll be over by the time your reception starts. We can get him there." And she was like, "Absolutely." They started playing Orioles Magic, the original Orioles Magic, and he came out, and literally the whole wedding swarmed the fucking bird. The walked pretty much in the room just to get pictures with the bride and the groom. So yeah, it's
nice.
Yeah, anybody from Baltimore knows how that Baltimore charm is, and you'll hear with some of the things I say, especially with O's and stuff like that. You hear the Baltimore accent come out.
By the way, I am holding my one-eyed monster.
That's what was killing people in that movie.
Yeah. Just so you know, that makes two of us.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, Dick's like, I've been holding it the whole episode.
And check. Okay.
I did have to give a quick little shout out. If you guys recognize who was on my shirt, if you're familiar with Ray Ray.
Oh yeah. I thought that was. I was gonna ask you if that was her because we saw her at Exxxotica, and actually our Acrobat friend did a lift with Ray Ray. She's amazing.
Yeah. No, we stayed with her at we went out at Airbnb together.
Oh, nice.
With her and a couple others. So yeah, they're like some of our closest friends, and love them.
Nice. Yeah, she's been on the show. We need to get her back. It's been a while since she's been on, but she had that really cool the Dick ring toss that she made for Exxxotica. Yeah. So that was completely cool. And then what was funny is when I was interviewing her, and I don't really want to spoil it because right now our Exxxotica content is being edited by the guys over at PodNation. It's going to debut exclusively 100% edited. Like these episodes go on in their raw form onto Roku, but that episode is being edited. It's going to look professional. It's going to be amazing. But while I was interviewing Ray Ray, it was one of those things that when you do something live, like you never know what's going to happen. So it was kind of one of those moments where we were in the middle of the interview and we were just kind of like, okay, this is happening right now. And we both kind of played off of it, and it's amazing. So make sure you look out for that content right here on Roku and Fire TV, probably coming up within the next 2 or 3 weeks once it's done and ready to go. But we're going to get into a game segment. So we play a handful of games. Dick, of course, you've been here a handful of times. You know all these games. So we're going to start off with a game called Extreme Personal Questions. So it's 2 random questions on a card, question A and question B. You don't know which question it is until you choose A or B. So between the two of you, choose what you want, either A or B, and then you're going to choose myself or Dick Dangle to get the other random question. So do you guys feel lucky with the letter A or the letter B?
A. I'll take A for 200.
So A is, what is the oddest toy that you've ever played with?
It was
from Bad Dragon.
Bad Dragon.
We shot a scene for her. It was a lesbian scene with Peaches and Leia.
Okay.
And she put the tentacle, it wasn't the Kraken, it was the one lower than that, in her strap-on holster, and she fucked Jazmine with that. And my favorite part about that is that she's like, wow, good girl, you've only got 2 tentacles left and it's all the way in you. And she goes, only 2? She's just like, boom, that shit's going in. I was like, that's my girl.
Bad Dragon has so much cool shit. Like I remember, I didn't really see much this year at Exxxotica because we were like the whole almost 8 hours we were there. I was literally running the entire time. Like it was like a work day, and when we were in DC, we seen someone with one of those tentacle Bad Dragon toys, but it was the size of a fucking infant. Like the chick is like a fucking infant. And we're sitting there thinking, we're like, who is that going into? Like that thing is the size of a child. Like this is a reverse
Rebel Rider
at this point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she'll take it.
So now, with that being said, so question B is now left on the table. So
you don't want my answer?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was like, the magic mic thingy, right? The magic wand. Yeah. So they have a male attachment for that thing.
Really?
Yes. And if you've never tried it, dude, So it sits on the top, and then it has its own little rubbery thing with some grooves and some little nubbies inside. You slide that sucker in, and then you just start playing around with the vibrations. Dude, like I can last a good little while. You know, you need to. No. This was like American Pie. That shit was magic.
Is that similar to the male rose? Like at Exxxotica, they had a booth with the male rose, and we actually talked to the guy with that. Is that similar to that?
So I mean, I don't know. It's like a silicone cup that sits on top of the magic wand.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
And you just slide that sucker right on your one-eyed monster, and you you just go to town.
Gators around it.
It's just yeah. But yeah, so it was definitely. I was like, oh
yeah,
like right out of American Pie. It was.
We saw that at Exxxotica, and he had like a big giant like floppy dong that was on the table, and he was putting that thing on there. And I remember just like being like this close, watching that just do its thing. And I was just like, this is amazing. And like part of me was like, I'm so close that this lube can probably hit me in the face. And I don't like this. This is amazing. So now there's question B. So question B. Question B, myself or Dick Dangle?
Okay, I guess we're pushing it to Dick Dangle.
All right, so Dick, what do you recall as being your first exposure to adult material growing up?
Oh, that's actually very simple. A friend of mine who he lived in my town, and he would sleep over my house. I would sleep over his house,
and then you guys fucked.
Oh, totally! It was awesome.
Just put it in your mouth for a second.
Yeah. We're just gonna play a game real quick. Have you ever seen that movie Ron Jeremy? I'm gonna be the detached penis.
We're gonna play a game. It's called Mumbles. So his father had a collection of Playboy magazines in the basement. So I would have been. I'm trying to think of how old I was. I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of 12, 13, something like that. And once I found those, he never slept over this house again. I always slept over there. And whenever I went to bed, I would go down and flip through the magazines. Yeah, it's very vivid in my brain having that first moment.
Who were in those Playboys? When you saw
this is stuff from the 60s.
Really?
Yeah, it was really early Playboys.
Wow. Like I remember like mine was my dad had a bunch of Playboys that were in the basement. And my dad, like he was cool. Like I lived with my dad, when my mom and dad split up, I moved in with him. And he was the type that he was like, look, if you want to watch porn, whatever, and all that, I don't give a shit. Whatever. Like do whatever. Just don't watch it in front of me. Like I don't want to, see all, whatever. So he had a bunch downstairs. And the one that I remember was Erica Linkai from Baywatch. That was the one that I remember being downstairs before a basement got flooded and all of his Playboys got destroyed. And I was like, well, this poor compact Basirio computer is now going to get so many viruses from LimeWire. This dates my age. LimeWire. So I would download so many things from LimeWire and then wonder why my computer was not operating correctly. And it's because I downloaded 16 videos of Jenna Jameson doing whatever, online. So
I downloaded, I think, every episode of Where the Boys Aren't.
Very nice. I got out of college, and while I was looking for a job after I graduated, I worked at a video store that had an adult section. And this is back when it was all basically VHS going into DVD. So, talking late 90s. And it was like this job was sent from heaven. I watched so much adult material for that year and a half. It was just chef's
you watch it on clock, like how like you were in Blockbuster and they would have movies playing. Dick would just once 8 o'clock hit, he would be like, "Yeah, we close at 10. I'm putting on this adult video. Like this old lady comes in and she's looking for like a copy of Armageddon. Meanwhile, somebody's just getting railed out on a TV in the back of the fucking video room.
Yeah. This is the director's cut of Titanic. I don't know if you're aware of that. You'll see Leonardo DiCaprio shortly.
Why does that say come again?
It's the sequel. I am so sorry.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Actually, that kind of reminds me of we just recently interviewed Mark Blaze on our podcast, and he was talking about one of my best friends. He was talking about at one point he worked for a video store, and his entire job was to watch through all of the adult videos that they had to make sure that it didn't have any like I forget what it was, but like stuff that would violate the terms of like what they could sell.
Really?
Yeah. So like that became his job, and so
there can be no dryer lint around the dick of the person in the
So he said that was almost what inspired him, because after like, you know, the first couple that you watch and you're like, yeah, this is awesome. And then you like start critiquing it, like lighting been better, better camera angle this way. Yeah, so that was.
And like it's one of the guys that I know, he worked for a video store, and it was called Cranbrook Video that was here in Maryland. And he worked there, and he actually got the Cranbrook Video logo tattooed on his leg. So it's the Cranbrook Video logo, the WWF logo, and Crush doing the Cranium Crusher to Doink the Clown. And he has fucking Cranbrook Video down there. And I'm like, this is like the most random shit. Like, I mean, I have all the horror tattoos. I have a Friday the 13th thing going on my back. Like, but that stuff is like elite level. Like, there was a job you love so much that you got a tattoo on your leg.
Yeah.
We're going to get into Never Have I Ever. So what I did is I drew 3 random cards out of the deck. So if you've done it, raise your hand or take a drink. If you want to give an explanation, you can. If not, we're not going to hate you for it. So the first one is, never have I ever gone through my partner's Facebook messages. Never have I ever gone through my partner's Facebook messages.
Oh. I'm like, you better drink too there, crazy lady.
Yeah. I never.
No, you have done it.
I have done it.
All right. So if you guys don't mind me asking, what triggered the whole going through the Facebook messages ordeal?
So, I mean, we both have each other's accounts. So like we go through it to respond and do all of that type of stuff. But before that, we did have a few moments of jealousy that we were like,
okay.
Is he doing something, or is she doing something?
This was like, of course, while we were supposedly in the lifestyle already anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was something that we were supposed to be able to share with each other anyways, but for whatever reason, like, we just didn't trust that we were sharing it.
Yes.
It's understandable. And, you know, honestly, like, I've never had to do it because, like, I look at it like this. Like, my wife's amazing. I've always trusted her. She's always given me leeway. When we first met, I was still doing pro wrestling. So, you know, she always, you know, supported that. And then I started doing the show. And when you do a show where you talk to like adult film stars, you know, all that stuff, like a lot of people, there's a big stigma that comes along with that. You know, I'm not going to confirm or deny if that's kind of what drug Matt's balls into the ground or whatever and all that stuff. But, you know, it's the whole thing of, you know, it has that stigma, but, you know, it happens. And the whole thing is, I'm an entertainer. I'm here to put on a show, and sex is always sold. You know, and that's the whole thing. And that's what, like, if you look at any of our early episodes right here on Roku or Fire TV that are airing now, you see that we had a lot of other guests aside from adult film stuff. And then once that started to take off, we got the AVN nomination, and then it was full gear. We're like, hey, this is our niche. This is where we are staying and, you know, moving forward with, because this is what we're known for. And, you know, so, I mean, that's the whole thing right there. So here's the next one. So never have I ever forgotten my wedding anniversary. Never have I ever forgotten my wedding anniversary. Oh, I've actually been very lucky.
I feel bad as a female to say that.
I actually got very lucky this round. Normally, I'm almost always drinking all of these, and these ones I was just kind of like, I got lucky.
I need to say I'd like to thank you for reminding me I've never been married.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm fine.
Oh, poor Dick.
Yeah, poor Dick. What a dead dick. What a dead dick. So here's the final one. Never have I ever been so hungover that I couldn't get out of bed until dinner. All right. So that one. All right. So JR, I'll let you go first.
Okay. So I've lived in two countries that very much encourage drinking. One being Germany.
I knew you were gonna fucking say Germany.
and Korea.
Okay.
Korea has this magical drink
Korea
called
is that
soju.
big on drinking? I didn't know Korea was that big.
Everything involves it. Yeah. Like
really?
Food and drink are a huge aspect of the culture, especially during doing business. So like all of the restaurants that serve alcohol and food are basically 24-hour operation.
Holy shit. Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
If you ever want to go to Korea, I'll take a trip with you and I'll show you the good time.
Nice. That's good shit. I'll keep that in mind.
I still speak enough of it to keep us out of trouble.
They keep us alive. And our heads intact. Like that's so mine, of course, like, and I mean, I do a podcast called the Happy Hour Podcast. I actively drink while we're doing it. And I ran with the group that pretty much, if you've ever seen The Hangover or read the book, I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell, that was the kind of group that I ran with. We would drink from Thursday to Sunday and then Monday through Thursday. And that's the way it was. And we had a friend who had parties, and it would start on Friday night. Saturday morning, he would kick you and go, "You ready to drink?" If you said no, he would throw you out of his house. If you said yes, you'd party. And then that just went on like the whole week. So yeah, there's been times where I don't think I woke up hungover. I just never went to bed because I was drunk for 24 hours straight through. And it's wild. It's wild. So what we're going to do.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It is.
Thank you, Rick James.
So what we're going to do, we're going to enter a game called Incoherent. So Dick, you've played this before. This is a staple on our show. Of course, keep in mind, coming January, we're going to have a couple of announcements about our next HHPod Rumble, which features this game, which we invite back 30 former guests. We play this game elimination style, like the WWE's Royal Rumble. And shout out to Johnny Goodluck and Jupiter Jetson, who were the 2022 and 2023 Royal Rumble winners. We have an actual, real, legit championship belt made up for the winner, and we send it to them. Both of them have legit championship belts. So pretty much what Incoherent is Incoherent. We have a series of cards that are in drunken lingo. You need to sound them out and try to figure out what the fuck those cards say. So Let me get those ready. I'll pull them up here, and we're going to go ahead and rock and roll with Incoherent. So this one's up here. So let me just go ahead, hit that, hit this. And what do you think that card says?
Hurting. And hurting.
Tinder date.
Tinder date.
Wait, what did you say?
Yeah, Tinder date.
Tinder date. All right, there you go. It is Tinder date. And hence, it's a match and the first step in a loving, long-term relationship. I don't think that's the case at all, but it is Tinder dates. So, all right. So let me get the next one ready. So we have a series of 3. So that was the first one. So that one was a little bit easy. Some of these are there's one of two ways this is going to work. You're either going to get it right away, or your brain's just going to shut off and you're not going to know what to do, because we've had people to where they just sat there and we heard silence for 30 seconds and we're just like, yeah, they're so fucked up right now. Like they don't know what the hell they're looking at. So let me just go ahead and get this ready.
We make a good team. She's book smart. I'm drunk smart. So between the two,
I don't drink at all.
So what do you think
Heated
this
tank
one?
with it.
Hit her tank with it.
What did you say?
Heated tank with it.
Yeah, heated tank.
What? I'm just reading what it says. Heated tank quit it. Hit it and quit it. Hit it
Yes,
and quit it.
hit it and quit it. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hit it and quit it. So what do you think this one says? If it lets me pull it up. Why did it go back to that one? All right, so let me
Tinder date.
Sometimes, and of course, when you're live, this is the kind of shit that happens. So, but let me just go ahead and pull this up here, and we'll rock and roll with the last one. So, man, you guys are getting these pretty quick. So we might have to have you guys come back.
I just channel my inner drunk. Vector Heroiel. Vector Heroiel. Vector Heroiel.
One of the hints is Fortnite.
Oh, I'm definitely out.
I'm like, that just made it way harder for me. Vector Heroiel.
Royal. That's Royal.
The last word is Royal.
Royale.
You have Royal. So Royale is the last
Royale. Royale's the last.
Okay. Goodness.
Victory, Royale.
Victory. That is all right. You know what?
I got it. Yeah.
You guys, if you guys are willing, in June we will be doing our next.
100%.
Yes.
If you guys want to come back for that, we will. But the way that it works for that, there are no hints, and round 1 is 30 seconds. Round 2 is 15 seconds that you need to throw the card in. That's based on it. Last year we did it with 1 minute, then 45, and it went too fucking long. And so this year it's going to be 30 seconds, and you get 1 save. So 1 save that saves you from elimination. Once you're eliminated, you can hang out, whatever, all that stuff. But whoever wins that, we literally I show people this all the time. So I said I did pro wrestling. This is a replica of one of the championships that I won. So the guy who made me this belt, I will have a custom design for the HHPod Rumble title done up, and we will send you a legitimate championship belt as the winner. So if you want to
let me tell you this, brother, I will win the Intercontinental Championship.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to get
not quite sure what wrestler I just channeled, but I'm just throwing everything in there. And a little bit of Bernie Sanders.
It sounds like a mix of Hogan and Savage. Like if Savage was a Hulk Hogan promo, that is what it would sound like. So,
and then somehow it trickled into Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. That is
1% of.
So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get into a game called Super Fight. So pretty much it's 2 decks of cards. We're gonna shoot you guys. So you guys are gonna be a team. Since you guys are automatically there, you guys are gonna be a team, and you guys are gonna fight me and Dick Dangle. So
Team Cruz, bitches.
Do you guys want deck 1 or deck 2?
1.
All right, so deck 1. So you guys have a redneck who's 10 stories tall and has 2 peg legs. A redneck who's 10 stories tall and has 2 peg legs.
Isn't he the one that just
if the termites don't get me?
So he is going to.
Man, it sounds like my spirit animal.
He's going to be fighting a Girl Scout that has telekinesis and is radioactive. So now what we're going to do is you guys are going to have to argue out why you think a redneck that's 10 stories tall and has 2 peg legs, why he would be a Girl Scout that has telekinesis and is radioactive.
Okay, so if I had to say, I would just say that, because I'm a 10-story tall redneck, I don't have a brain for telekinesis to be able to control this, because there's nothing up in here. I voted for somebody that we don't talk about in here, but, that just shows how brain dead I am. Plus, the peg legs, right, wood can help to repel the radiation. Radiation ain't got nothing on the wood. It could fuck up this wood, but them woods would be able to just kick that little Girl Scout. And I'm buying none of your damn cookies. You don't take my welfare checks.
Oh, no, see, that's where you fall victim, because the first box is free, and they are radioactive cookies. What redneck turns down free cookies? You eat the cookies, you're done. It's that easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like that would just make the 10-story redneck even that much stronger.
But she has telekinesis. She can fucking like Professor X.
Yeah, she's
this redneck
them around. She's
buying these radioactive cookies.
Right.
And like lighting his own pegs on fire.
What? End? Oh, I don't know, another 20, 30 minutes. Sorry.
No, if you guys need to roll, we can let you go. It's not a big deal.
Oh, we're good. We're good for right now. So Trent's coming here, and then y'all are gonna hang out in there, or y'all going? Okay.
Is that your kids? Do they come in and just go end now?
When does it end?
We are hungry. We need you to stop right now. All right. So I'm thinking. So we used to leave this up to the live feed, but the live feed would always fail us with this because we would be like, tell us who you think would win. And then we would get crickets, but they would have commented on every fucking thing else.
Right.
So I'm thinking that we give it to Jazmine and JR, and that the redneck who's 10 stories tall that has 2 peg legs beats the Girl Scout.
Just because an accent doesn't mean they come on.
Don't you question my tactics. I lived it. I have exercised the demon.
Just put your turkey in the deep fryer and leave us alone.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, of course, this is our Ode to Humanity segment. So we end this segment with Cards Against Humanity. Have you guys ever played Cards Against Humanity?
Yes.
No.
It's the bane of my existence. Because no matter how funny I think the thing is, nobody ever picks my card.
Okay, so Jazmine is in for a treat since she's never played. You've played, so you know. Now, obviously, we can't have a deck of cards in front of you guys.
Like apples to apples.
Kind of like the first game. This is Cards Against Humanity roulette. So what we're going to do is we're going to read off the black face card, and then roulette style, you're going to give us a random number between 1 and 6 to randomly answer that card. If you don't like the answer, you get 2 rebuttals to choose a better answer.
Okay.
So, the first one is, give me 10 good men and 48 hours, and I'll give you blank. So 1 through 6, what do you think?
Just pick a number.
Oh, 3.
3. All right. So give me 10 good men and 48 hours, and I will give you finger painting. I will give you finger painting. So are you guys satisfied with finger painting, or do you want to rebuttal and choose a different card?
Is it different?
All right. So now 1 through 5. What do you think? 1 through 5. What was it?
Yes.
5?
5.
All right. So now, mind you, all cards are randomly drawn out of the deck. So give me 10. Give me 10 good men and 48 hours, and I'll get you a gentle caress of the inner thigh. So.
Ooh.
Yeah. So are you guys satisfied with that? Or do you want to use a second rebuttal and choose another card?
All right, we'll stick with
I like that one.
That is absolutely. If she hasn't shot that scene, that's going to be on the list. That's fine.
Just make sure you put created by.
Absolutely. We'll have to have Dick Dangle in the rotation for that one.
So here's the second one. Times have changed, girlfriend. If you want to meet people in New York, you've got to be down for blank. So 1 through 6.
Oh, it's not filling the blank.
2.
Yeah, 2.
All right, 2. So times have changed, girlfriend. If you want to meet people in New York, you've got to be down for stabbing the shit out of a Capri Sun.
Oh, I've done that.
I like it.
So do you want to hold with that, or do you want to rebuttal and choose another?
Choose another.
All right. So 1 through 5.
Tough crowd.
Okay, what's your next number, dear?
Oh, it's 6.
6? All right. So 6 is times have changed, girlfriend. If you want to meet people in New York, you've got to be down for a super massive black hole. Are you satisfied? Or do you want to use your last rebuttal and choose another card?
Last rebuttal and choose another card.
1 through 4. 1 through
4.
All right, so 4. So 4. All right. So I have no idea what this means. I don't have to look it up. Times have changed, girlfriend. If you want to meet people in New York, you've got to be down for an Oedipus complex.
Oedipus complex.
Oedipus.
Oedipus.
Yes, an Oedipus complex.
The
That's
thought
about right.
that every man wants to murder his father and marry his mother.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that explains. So that's where you guys are going to have to hold it because you get 2 rebuttal with that. So
I'm
there were
down.
a lot
that
of
one.
cards
I'm
in
down.
both of those,
It's a
and
challenge.
like
I
some
like
of
that
them, I
one.
was like, "Oh,
We were
man."
just in New York, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's right. Considering all of the genres in the adult industry, that works perfectly.
Absolutely. My pervy family.
That's
Well,
right.
we're gonna get into 2 more things real quick, and then we're gonna let you guys get out of here so you can feed your children because they're like, "When are you done? Ending. We are hungry."
So to be fair, like our kids all know what they do. They just don't want to hear about it per se. So it's like we're going to work, and they're like, okay, but we don't want to go any.
Kind of wish that it wasn't your children, that it was Ron Jeremy's dick just walking. in now, me now.
You see it just hopping along the bottom of the screen.
She's like, Jazmine, it's time to end. You need to come with me.
Yeah. Or it pops up behind the couch. Like, it's behind you.
It's behind you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's fucking the back of JR's head. Run now. So what we're going to do is we do news articles also. So this one, we advertise this online, and this one is a viral TikTok couple finds out that they might be related after they've been dating. So it says a couple on TikTok have gone viral after revealing there is a chance that they could be related. This is a total like porn story right here. It says after they've been in a relationship for 2 years, the users known as Carly and Mercedes, both of those are porn names, by the way,
right,
posted a video of themselves on social media platform earlier this week with an overlaying text that read, "When you guys find out 2 years into dating that your moms both slept with the same guy." The pair captioned the video, which has been viewed over 10 million times and has over 9,000 comments with, "Should we take a DNA test?" No, make an OnlyFans. That's what you're going. That's the next step that you take.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yes, you make an OnlyFans, and it says users were quick to comment on the likeness between the two, with one person writing, "That could explain why you two look like sisters." No, I have no idea who you guys are, and I immediately thought you were sisters before reading the text another person wrote. So it does have a photo of these 2 ladies. So this is what they look like. And they 1,000 look like sisters. So, but I'm at the point now after reading this article that I'm willing to take cold hard cash out of my wallet, that if there was an OnlyFans, I'd just be like, all right, well, I've watched this TikTok. I've been to the bottom of the porn and like the black holes of porn, the black market of porn, that I will literally just slap down money and I would just watch this happen. Like
I don't know. I may be calling shenanigans. I think this might be a promotional stunt just for that reason.
Wait, are you saying that there is a chance that something on TikTok is not factual, that it is not real?
I can either confirm or deny.
Oh my gosh, are you saying that?
How dare you?
These are factual.
Yeah, I retract the statement. I apologize.
So now, to be fair,
how dare you? Yeah.
Okay. So there is a fun little story to go similar that is like a parallel to that. So some friends of ours, they're also in the community, and they're OF creators, stuff like that. And so their first big TikTok video that went viral is that it was like, so this couple, Danny and Justin, and then their friend Shamily and Keith. So the TikTok they did is, how do I keep my man happy? And then they bring Shamily in, and it says, I let him play with my mom. And that thing got millions of viewers and all sorts of stuff, and like that kind of helped skyrocket their fandom.
Yeah, that's a
so
very, very easy way to basically just have that promo bomb go off to make yourself more popular. I mean, that's
right.
It's brilliant, to be honest.
Yeah. And if you were at the Miami one, right?
I was
the Miami Exxxotica. Okay, I was gonna say that would have been the time that you would have met them. But Dirty Danny is the her tag, stuff like that. And then Baby Ann is the other. Other couple.
All right.
But yeah, so they're huge in the OF. And so they did that, and that's one of the things that got their popularity.
I went to Exxxotica DC last year, and in one of the hotel bars there was an actual daughter and mother, and I think the mom just kind of ran the business, and to watch the two of them like a Navy SEAL team work the men at the bar for free food and drinks and stuff was phenomenal. It was artwork.
Well, it's funny because with stuff like that, I used to always say with pro wrestlers, we use the term workers. And we used to always say that strippers are some of the best workers on the planet, because they will sit there and they will work men until they get all their money that they could possibly have. And trust me, like, I know I've been drunk at 3:30 in the morning in West Virginia and been worked for almost my entire paycheck after a wrestling show at a strip club in West Virginia. And it happens. And it's just mind blowing. Like, how they mind ninja you. They just come in just, and then they're just off into like vanish.
Coincidentally, also a popular area where you could say that we're both related and in a relationship, and it could work,
This is my sister, Charlene, and the both of us would love to have you come to the back room with us, and you can meet my cousin.
That's right.
let me tell you now, I did pro wrestling for over 20 years, and West Virginia has by far probably some of the ugliest people I've ever seen in my entire life. I'd be sitting there and I would be in the ring, and I would just sit there and we would do a move, and I would have a guy in a headlock, laying there, and I'd be like, man, this is the ugliest fucking crowd I've ever seen in my life. Oh yeah, by the way, get up, tackle, step over, clothesline, drop kick, I'll powder, go around. So we're sitting there saying this shit to each other while we're calling moves in the ring, and then it's just like, okay, let's be match number 1 so we can go spend more time at the strip club, because there's only 14 people out here and we don't feel like waiting the entire night. Let's just get the fuck out of here. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into, we found a list that had 800 terms for the penis. We started from A, and now last week we concluded with C. So now we're starting into D. So we're going to read off about 5 of them, and you guys let us know if you've ever heard any of these terms for the penis. So the first one starts off with D's. D's apostrophe S. So is that multiple dicks? Like, I don't know why someone would consider it as D's within I guess look at D's. Like I would imagine it as
like D's nuts.
Yeah, like D's nuts, but I wouldn't imagine it for a dick though. Like, so all right. So that's the first one. The second one is dagger. Like, I can imagine you're gonna stab that pussy.
Okay.
Like, boom, just dagger that pussy. Like, I mean,
okay. Yeah.
Dagger is a good one. And then the Dallas Dangler. The Dallas Dangler. So
that also sounds like a really good point.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I feel like that's the opposite of the Dallas Strangler. Like, I feel like like
right. It's the porn equivalent.
Right, exactly.
The danger noodle. The danger noodle. Like, this isn't a regular noodle. This isn't Nissan or cup of noodles. This is the danger noodle. Like, that's
I
what
think
this
they're referring to Asian people because it's dangerous.
Well done. I like that.
Yeah. And then there's Darth Vader. So I guess
Well, it's got the big helmet.
The helmet, you know.
Yeah.
I can see
Darth,
that.
Yeah, Darth Vader. And then there's the deep sea diver.
Okay.
Into
what cavern?
Okay. Yeah, I guess deep sea diver. And then I'm gonna do an extra one because the next one after that is just simply dick. So I would imagine that dick would be in the D's. So that's that's out of the list of the 800 terms for a penis. Of course, we're gonna go all the way down to Z. Dick was number 143. So over the next, however long couple of years, we're gonna be reading off these terms of this list that we found from giggly.com of the 800 terms for a penis. Just like Family Feud, I don't know who they surveyed for some of these, but some of these I'm just kind of like, I don't know how these happen.
Just so you're aware, Dick at 143 was my weight when I was 8 years old.
Nice.
That was about the same weight I was when I was I was the size I am now at 8. Like, that's the thing. Like, everybody's like, hey, I'm that size now. So, guys, what we're gonna do, we're gonna let you guys.
I was 143 senior year of high school.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And
nice.
that was about my weight when I graduated basic training.
Okay. Nice. So, with basic training, what do you think was the most grueling thing you had to do when you were in basic training?
The not sleeping was probably the hardest part.
Okay.
Realistically, I mean, I did football and wrestling in high school, and I was a gymnast competitively. I mean, the physical aspect was nothing, but the whole no caffeine basically, and very little sleeping while trying to do all of the other tasks and whatnot. Yeah. That was probably the toughest.
That's rough. Like, I mean, I got into wrestling and all that stuff, and like my dad and of course my grandfather, they were all in the military. My dad, 3 Purple Hearts. He got 3 Purple Hearts over in Vietnam. He passed in 2016. Paranoid schizophrenic, PTSD, all that stuff. Unfortunately, he had a bad drinking, problem. But he barely ever talked about that kind of stuff with me. Like, that's how deep he was. Yeah. So, man, honestly, thank you for everything you did. When you were in and all that stuff, because and of course Veterans Day was this weekend, so shout out to you, man. Yesterday. Thank you for your service. We appreciate it, and all that stuff. So what was the best country you saw when you were traveling? Like, when you were in the military, what was your favorite country you went to?
I see that. I don't know that I could pick a favorite. Like, I love everywhere that I've been. There's at least a good story or two out of it that I had a great time. I mean, I loved Italy. I loved Germany. I loved Kuwait, Kyrgyzstan, Korea, Japan, Romania, Afghanistan was incredible. Like, I mean, aside from people trying to kill you, like there's a lot of amazing history there. I mean, the mountains in northern Afghanistan, that was where Hannibal marched his elephants over across those mountains.
Yeah. Okay.
I got to see in Fob Lightning, there were these twin mountain peaks, and there were fortresses built on them, and they were built for Alexander the Great.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, there was, you can be equally as miserable and as happy as you can be wherever you are. It's just in how you look at it and how you try to enjoy your.
Yeah. Well said.
Very well said.
That turned me on.
like that's the thing. She's sitting there thinking right now, like I'm sitting there thinking that the kids are about to walk in and go, meat. We need meat. We're hungry. And like now I need meat. I'm now officially hungry. So guys, with that being said, we appreciate you guys coming on to the HHPod. As I was telling you, JR, before we went on, it's just, I don't have a script. We just get on, we go, whatever happens.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you guys coming on. Me and Dick are going to hang out for a little bit longer. Before you guys go, one, where can everybody find you guys? Please don't give out your address because that never ends well. There's a lot of creeps
no.
So.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go through all yours.
Oh yeah, mine. Domain is Jazmine Cruz, JazmineCruz.com. You can find me on TikTok at Jazmine Cruz Official, and my Instagram, Jazmine Cruz Modeling, and Twitter, aka X, is Jazmine Cruz OFF1.
Yeah. The domain will take you to all of the spicier pages. And then for me, you can go on to my domain, which is mrscxybons.com. Yes, that spells out sex fun. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm JR_Cruz2020. What am I on TikTok?
Sexy bun.
Okay. Yep. I think that's what I am on Clapper as well. And then yep. And then we have our production company, which is also where we're labeling our podcast after the Just Cruising podcast. Just Cruising Productions is also on Twitter, and we'll slowly start to migrate to the other social as well.
Nice.
And actually, coincidentally, we would love to have both of you guys separately on our podcast for an interview.
Yeah, man. Just
be on.
Love to get you guys on the calendar for that.
I'd love to. Absolutely. Love to. And when you guys get up and rolling, if you can get me a commercial of some kind, even if it's just a photo with audio behind it, get it to me and I'll play it during our ads.
Yeah.
Like on the live and
awesome.
Fire TV.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do a little video for that one. That could be fun.
Yeah, man. Definitely get it over. So we're going to let you guys go ahead and get out here. Before you go, would you guys be able to do a plug for us real quick? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin you guys however you guys want to do it. I guess if one of you wants to start it and the other wants to finish it, or if you want to go, I'm JR, and then you go, I'm Jazmine, just say, hey, JR, Jazmine, you guys are watching the Happy Hour podcast. And whenever you're ready, we're recording anytime you're ready to go.
Okay. I am JR Cruz, and
I'm Jazmine Cruz.
And you're watching the Happy Hour podcast.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on to the show. Keep in touch with us. We'll also I'm kind of backed up on them, but I like to send all of our guests a t-shirt. We have like over 35 different designs, all that fun stuff, t-shirts, glasses,
so sweet.
All kinds of shit. So I'll reach out to you guys. I'll get you guys something. The only thing I ask is just you guys post a photo, just rocking it online.
Too easy.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
dude, we'll hit you up when we're heading that way as well. I mean, because you've got family up that way still. So
they're all on fire.
I met Cal Ripken, by the way.
Oh, she's throwing it in your face.
Oh,
it really is.
I have in my closet
elementary school
a 1983 World Series bat signed by Cal, Eddie Murray, Jim Palmer, and a whole bunch of other 83 guys. It's one of my most prized possessions. And I have a base that's up. You can't see it from the camera view, but there's a base that I won a contest where I was able to steal second at Camden Yards. So at the time I was 50 pounds heavier and I was able to run my fat ass out there and I couldn't get the base up out. And I was thinking, I'm like, 5-year-olds do this in like 30 fucking seconds. And then finally I ran back, and you don't realize how far that run from the center field wall to the second base is. And then they were like, you can keep the base. So that's my most prized possession. It's up on my right behind my championship belt, but it still has a little pike on it. It has all the dirt on it. It's still when Manny and Jonathan Scope and all those guys the last year that they were on the team. So
very cool.
Amazing. Very, very fun. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get out of here so you can feed your children, because obviously they're
teenagers. They can feed themselves.
Please, somebody. And my dogs are probably like that upstairs. They're like, please, somebody, we're starving. We haven't eaten in days. It's like, you haven't eaten in like 6 hours. Leave me alone. Like, come on now. But guys, we appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and let you get out of here. Thank you for tuning.
Thanks so much for having us on.
Yes.
And by the way, JR, happy Veterans Day, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, brother.
All right, guys. We will see you. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue on here on YouTube Live and Roku and Fire TV. So Dick, I wanted to bring up, of course, at Exxxotica, you give everybody gifts, and we showed that you gave me this Orioles shot glass, you know,
Right.
so that was one thing you told me that you had this for me. So I was expecting this.
Right.
But then when we ran into each other, you were like, I have something else for you. And I was just like, okay. And you like reached deep down in your like bag of goodies, like you're shoulder deep, like in your bag of goodies. And I'm like, I don't know where Dick is reaching to. Like, I don't know what like this, like how deep this bag goes to. This bag could go to like a different dimension or some shit like that. And you're like just digging around in this. And then you come up, and when you do, you pull out this blue folder.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, he's giving me like a whole report card of
Right.
my Dick just celebrated 500 episodes not too long ago.
Yes.
And he's giving me a report card.
Right.
That like probably is like an E of these are the things that's done wrong with your show. And he's gonna slam it down on the desk. He's gonna go, "What fucker? This is
Yeah, it's your yearly review, and you know, there's some things you've done well, some things you need to work on, you know.
It's just a review, and then it just has a little like you have like one of those like what was it like back in the day when they would do those like weird little stamp seals with like fucking what was it like candle material or some shit, and it would seal it. It's just that, but it says it's an image of a dick, and it just says Dangle underneath, and so so I open it. And I open it up, and of course, I've spent 20 plus years in the wrestling business. I've myself wrestled in the ECW arena down in South Philly. And one of the things in it was this right here. So this right here, which was the program from the event that you went to, the Extreme Event Pro. Say It Ain't So, Terry. And this was when Terry Funk did one of his many retirements, one of his many like 14 retirements that he did, and it has the actual ticket, which you for those of you who are younger, this is a ticket,
right?
This is how we used to get into shows, were these physical tickets right here. So it was.
Let me ask, how much was that? I didn't look it up. It should say the price on it somewhere.
Let's see, Heat Wave. All right, what do you think the price was back then?
I might probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like $15 to $20 if I had to take a guess.
$14.29. $14.29. So ECW Heat Wave is what it was. And so there's that. And then also, and mind you, my tag partner Blood, he would be so jealous of this because he's a huge Terry Funk fan. Of course, there's this, the ECW $1 off thing. Right. So I wonder if this is still valid.
That's a good question. I just get in touch with Paul Heyman. He'll let you know.
Yeah. I fill it out, I mail it to WWE, and I'm like, I want $1 off of something. So there's that. And then there's the Extreme in Every Way, which has Francine on the front. So there's that right there. And then, of course, the back end shows the Sandman on the back of that with the ECW Extreme music. So, okay, so there's a couple of these. And then there's the ECW Extreme. I never knew ECW had the Extreme music thing. Like, I knew WWE did.
One CD.
I knew WWE did, but I never knew. And excuse me, I've been telling people all week. And of course, shout out to Jeff Farini. I did his show on Tuesday with him and Jewel, and I'm been a little bit under the weather for like the last week, so that's why I kind of have like a cough. And then another thing, once I actually got into this, I didn't realize how in depth it was.
Right.
Like, I pulled it out, and it's 2 Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines. So of course, there's this one right here, which has Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with Macho Man Randy Savage and a rear chin lock. Ooh, and then there's this one with the one and only Rowdy Roddy Piper on the cover, which, Dick, I don't know if you know this or not, but the final Piper's Pit ever was held here in Maryland.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Maryland Championship Wrestling booked Roddy Piper about 2 weeks before he passed, and he did a Piper's Pit. And that was the final Piper's Pit ever, was right here in the state of Maryland. So, So, I was
that's
lucky awesome.
Enough to meet Roddy Piper actually at a movie convention.
Okay. They Lived. That was such a fucking great classic.
Yeah, he was signing copies of that. And because I'm a big hockey fan, I had him sign a hockey puck to me. And that's right when people were doing like online shows on their website, and he was showing a live feed of him signing and meeting fans, and he had never signed a puck. And he broke into this story about meeting like these really old like Hall of Fame players from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it was like a whole moment. It was so cool.
Nice. And man, I appreciate that. I felt so bad at Exxxotica because you bring gifts, and I was just like, I don't have, like, I'm just standing here like a flaccid penis right now as this guy hands me like, gifts and, all that stuff. I mean, is that something, because you told me that your Friday at Exxxotica is your gift day. So is that something you do? Is that like your kind of like your gimmick a little bit, like when you go to Exxxotica and all that stuff?
It is just something that I really grew into enjoying to do, because it shows an appreciation for the performers and all the people that I meet through the week. But it's also a way to connect with them, because it shows that shows the people, the performers and stuff, that you are actually reading their social media. And because I connect with people through music, so I give records away if I find something interesting. But my mother, Mama Dangle, she knits, so she'll knit a bunch of stuff for people, like hats and gloves and scarves, and the women absolutely love it. And it's been just interesting. And if I find stuff like the shot glass and things like that, I pick it up. One of my love languages is gift giving, and that's
okay. One of my, and I appreciate that. And like me, one of my love languages is if I like you, you'll do the show with me. And that's how I am, and it sucks losing Matt. It really does. Really? Like, but you kind of know the show, like, one thing that's guaranteed is me. So, it sucks. Matt has the same personality I do. The chemistry me and Matt have is different from the chemistry me and you have. It's different from the chemistry me and anybody else who does this show have. But, that's just the thing. It happens with, the stigma, the kind of stuff, the industry that we are in and that we associate with. It has a lot of bullshit and a lot of pullback, which is absolutely disgusting to me, because that's the thing. I've said it a long time ago. I've said it many times before. Everything has sex. Animals, whether you're straight, gay, trans, whatever, you have sex. It's there. It exists. So, for there to be such a stigma with stuff like that, but I love Matt to death. He's one of my best friends. Unfortunately, I don't see him much. The only time we really got to hang out was here for the show. Yeah. So I don't know how much we're going to see each other now because of that. So, but it happens, you know how it is. The show goes on. I learned that with pro wrestling. The show goes on, cards subject to change. It happens. But yeah, it is what it is. And, you just pick yourself up and you keep moving along. So Dick, what all do you have coming up, man? I know you were pretty busy at Exxxotica yourself. Do you have like an Exxxotica special or anything like that coming out?
Yeah, in probably a couple weeks, I'll have 2 shows based around interviews I do at Exxxotica and the stories that I have. And I'll be heading to Exxxotica DC for the Saturday and possibly Sunday.
Okay.
Still waiting to see about AVN, because I've done 4 conventions in 2023. Oh, it gets expensive and it gets tiring. So if I go, but yeah, it's just a lot going on. Shows are going to keep coming out, and some new things coming for 2024. So I'm just really excited to see how everything plays out.
Nice. And I wanted to ask you real quick, because of course I did Jeff Parini's podcast, The Yo Show, on Tuesday. I was a guest on that. And then I did a podcast on Thursday with what the hell was the company? Like, I'm trying to figure out what the hell the company was. Let me go over to my Twitter real quick, because I know I have a Twitter message from them, but I don't remember exactly. And it was weird. Like, the whole thing of it was just weird to me, and like nothing taking anything away from that. They were called Love Nestle. Have you ever heard of Love Nestle?
I have not.
So apparently they make sex dolls in like China or whatever and all that. So they asked me, hey, can you be a part of our podcast? I don't really have a huge following. And I'm like, well, for sex dolls, like life sex dolls or whatever and all that shit. I'm like, well, you would imagine that they have kind of like a good following, but they were like, hey, can you do our podcast? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And then the whole time that I'm doing the podcast, they're just asking me like my opinions on what like drives like an addiction to sex. And I'm just kind of like, well, what is this? Like, I want to imagine, like, wouldn't you want people to be addicted to sex to sell your, product or whatever? And, all that shit. Like, it completely threw me for a loop. And I was like, what is actually happening? Like, and I went along with it. But another thing that was weird too is that when I did the show, this is what I talked to the entire time. That is what I talked to, a virtual raccoon. Okay. So it was a virtual raccoon, and it was an Asian person, and they were basically asking me like questions about sexual addiction and all that stuff. And like at one point I even asked, I was like, I didn't expect this. I thought we were going to be talking about this right here. Like this is the opposite of what I expected. So I don't know if it's just like some sort of sham thing or what. Like, it was weird, but hey, it is what it is. Look out for that as well. I was a part of that. And before we go, of course, back to Exxxotica, I am wearing this shirt that says "Rub Your Meat and Squirt." Rub your meat and squirt. It is from Meat So Horny. We ran into those guys at Exxxotica. They had a stand. They had barbecue sauces, rubs, all that stuff. I talked to them and let me try some of the rubs, and they gave me a t-shirt. So for anybody watching out there, I'm going to break this down into a clip also. They also gave me, I meant to do this at Exxxotica, but as I said, we meant that mutant that could do acrobatics.
Right.
And my whole day just changed and shifted there. I'm like, you come with me. We're going to be doing acrobatic shit. So what they gave me were two of these. So can you see what that says?
Carolina Reaper Sinful Gummies.
So what this is this is the world's hottest gummy bear. It is a gummy bear that has a Carolina Reaper pepper inside of it. So they have a challenge to where you sit there, and they said that basically the gummy flavor lasts about 4 seconds. That in 1 minute, you have to put this in your mouth, chew it up, and swallow it. And then you have to try to go 4 minutes without drinking anything. So I have two of these. I have two of these right here. So Dick, whether you or whether anybody who is watching this right now wants to do this challenge, I will send these to you in the mail free of charge. And I will bring you, even if you're a fan watching at home or anything like that, I will bring you live onto the show via Zoom if you are willing to do this challenge, and we will tag Meat So Horny in it so we can have you eat, because I'm not a hot guy. I will be deceased.
Yeah.
I'm deceased just thinking of it. Like I feel the dirt being thrown on my body right now from just thinking about that. So if there's anybody out there who wants to do that challenge, let me know, and I will be more than willing to bring you on the show and watch you die live on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. So, but yeah, so of course, Dick, you have your stuff coming up. Of course, we have 2 episodes coming up. Next week is a double shot week. So we are going to be live on Wednesday night. Wednesday night, we're going to be back here, right here on YouTube Live, Roku, and Fire TV. And our featured guest is Sexual World Records. So Sexual World Records will be on here. And we're going to have a lot of fun questions for them. And we have a special guest co-host. Daisy Taylor returns to the show. So Daisy Taylor, she was a huge draw last time. Super cool. We clicked very well. So she will be on as a guest co-host. And then we will be back the following Saturday, which is the 18th. And Whitney OC is our guest. So she will be joining us here on the show. Of course, Dick, if you're available, let me know. Maybe we'll have Dick here with us. Maybe we'll have some of our local comedian friends. But either way you look at it, the show will be here live no matter what. So make sure you check out all that, and make sure you look out for our Exxxotica episode coming up exclusive to Roku and Fire TV. So Dick, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get ready to get out of here. It is a pleasure as always, my man. I'm so glad we got to catch up at Exxxotica. Maybe sometime next year, I'll try to make like a Pittsburgh Pirates game when the Orioles play the Pirates or something like that. We're going to have a few beers, watch some baseball, or, something like that, man. It's always a pleasure.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, it's a beautiful stadium out here. It's just a shame they don't have a team to go around it.
Well, it's a beautiful stadium, but that stadium is modeled after Camden Yards. The only thing is Camden Yards has the warehouse. That stadium has the bridge. It's literally reversed the way that it's set up. The bridge is over here. The warehouse is over here.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, man, definitely, we will definitely do that. But what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here on YouTube Live. Of course, thank you to Jazmine and JR Cruz. You guys were amazing. We're going to be posting that content all throughout the week right here on all of our social media pages. Of course, it will be available tomorrow. For those of you watching us live, it will be available tomorrow on Roku and Fire TV. So look out for that. I'll make a post as soon as that's available. And Dick, as always, man, thank you. And we'll see you around right here on the Happy Hour podcast.
Thank you for having me on, sir.
All right. See you guys later. All right. So there's that. Boom. And then